Thank you so much for joining me, Peter. Truly a pleasure speaking to you at the IKEA headquarters in Bangalore.
I'm also very thankful that you're here, and then we can talk a bit.
So, Peter, it's been quite a journey for you. 11 months in India, about a month or so since the grand IKEA launch. Must be absolutely crazy. If I had to ask you to, recount your last 11 months, and in particular the run-up to the launch of the store, what would you say?
I think it has been an exciting time, full of work, full of inspiration. And at the end, I think with the opening of the store in Hyderabad, I think that has been a great success for us. It was a reward for everybody, because everybody in our organization has been working for that moment the last years, working for that moment, and it has been a reward for them that we can open that store now. And for me personally, it also has been a great experience, a great excitement in a society, in an environment, in a country which is very dynamic, very positive outlook. A lot of things are changing.
Sure.
And then being part of that also with the business, I think this is a fantastic moment for us.
Right. Before I get into the details of what you just told me, it's been about a month or so since your first store is up and running, and we saw about 40,000 customers rush in on the first day, and I believe, if I'm not wrong, you raked up about 1 crore or so in terms of sales on day one. Having said that, it must have been a phenomenal learning experience, because it is one thing to study the market and take notes, and it's one thing to actually see it in action. So I'm sure the last 1 month has actually thrown up a lot of learning, a lot of research that's actually you've seen come to life, or something that's completely which you've not expected at all. So if you could throw up some of those learnings in terms of what you've seen in the last 1 month, and some of the highlights, if you could share, that would be very interesting.
I'm happy that you're bringing that up, because the one thing is that you're doing evaluation, investigation, and then you're planning something which you build in. But then we already decided, the moment we open our store, the moment our first customers coming in, the moment they meet our range, the moment they meet our people, the moment they meet our concept, this is the starting phase to learn.
Absolutely.
So we decided that from now on we will learn even more. The biggest learning, I think there are a lot of fantastic learnings. I'm very excited that we have been overwhelmed by visitation, so we maybe underestimated a bit what kind of interest we have been creating with that IKEA opening store in Hyderabad. So that has been one of the fantastic positive learnings out of that. Then we were realizing that we were building a lot of homes. So we were really showing real homes with our range, based on what we learned in people's life at home in Hyderabad, and we put that in our solutions. And we have been on homes, we are showing homes there on 25, 30 square meters, which is dedicated for family, 4, 5, 6 people, with a lot of functions and a lot of flexibility in there. There have been sometimes more than 50 people in that home. So what we see, what we're showing there, this interest and this adaptation to this imagination, this is how I can live at home. So that gives us a lot of aspiration and also inspiration that we have done a lot of things right. So that is really good. Then when it comes to our range, we have been adapting a lot of our range to local needs. So we have been, we have more than 1,000 products just made in India, and we have 2,000 products adapted to India.
Okay, wow.
So because India, like tawa maker, idli maker, steam cooker, stools smaller or higher. So this kind of things we have been doing and adapting. We have been looking into quality. We know that humidity, dust, is a challenge in the climate where we're living there. So we have adapted that. We were building, we also, when it comes to affordability, which is a big part, Indian people, which is all over the world, but Indian people especially, they looking for value for money. So we have been also introducing more than 1,000 products below 200 rupee, 500 products below 100 rupee, and then also localized range. So this is range which is done in India, made in India, localized, and we see that our idea was to have something for everybody who has a home. We would like to have something for everybody in the home. Even you cannot deserve a kitchen today. Maybe you have a need for a kitchen, and you can afford a kitchen later, but you will find something there. And this is what we find out as a positive learning. This is really fantastic working out. Then we know, a third part is, then we know the value of the family. So living with children is a big part in India. And then we have been already giving more space and more range when it comes to our children's IKEA. And this is still too small. So we see that success. People are coming there, the children are trying and playing, they have a fantastic range, and this is a big success what we see. So that could be some learning for the future also. That could be even more when we talk about the range and maybe the size of the areas. Food is overwhelming. I must say we had an idea that food is very important. Indian people love to cook and love to eat. This is a kind of socializing. And this is why we had the biggest IKEA food restaurant in the world, in the IKEA world, in Hyderabad, right, with more than 1,000 seats. But the way people are really going there, socializing the food, what we have been adapting, so it's a local food, it's Swedish food, what we bring in, then the affordability of that part, that has been a great success. So from that perspective, fantastic. What we are learning is also that this format, this store format, where you have 40,000 square meters running through a store, this is a one-store format where we have everything under one roof, but only home furnishing. So the way we are moving people to the store, the way that is not this is to show this is not a shopping center, but this is IKEA all under one roof, a lot of full of inspiration and products when it comes to home furnishing. This is what people didn't understand from the beginning, or some of people didn't understand. So we have to explain much more what we are, what is the store about, how do you move in the store, how you check out, how you take your goods when it comes to that part. So this is something what we need to explain in a better way or to adapt in a better way. Then we know that convenience plays a big part in India. So it's about delivery, it's about assembly. So we have, big part, big part. So we created fantastic services around that part. We have it in-house, and sometimes we have given it to local companies. So also that part, but to have that even stronger, that message even stronger, then you can have all services what you need. This is one of the learnings what we have there.
Right. There are a few things that are drastically different in the Indian market. Yeah. For instance, we're used to seeing your really large store formats, around the world, where it's 400,000 or more, and and it's a little bit on the outskirts. Yeah. People are okay to travel. People are okay to do it themselves. So culturally, I think this is a big shift for IKEA more than for Indians, because you're trying to adapt to the Indian culture. So I believe that you're looking to have smaller stores here in India, so that the proximity to different clusters is much more. Am I correct on that one?
So the big layer is still our big stores, because here is where we can show our range. We would like to move forward when it comes to online. So we're stepping much stronger now into the online business. Right. And we would like to add formats in the city. So Mumbai will be our first market where we will have a store, where we will have approach the online. And we would like to have smaller store formats in the city where the people are.
So I'm assuming you'll have one, which is the one that is already in Navi Mumbai, which will be a big store.
Yes.
In Turbi, I think.
This will be a store like Hyderabad. This will be what you know.
And then you'll have smaller models within the city.
We will introduce smaller models in the city, because we strongly believe that we need to be where the people are, and they are in the city. You said it for the traffic reason, for convenience reason. They don't want to travel 2 hours, so they would like to be and meet the brand, meet IKEA, have the opportunity to meet the range and the people. Yeah. So we will have more and more smaller formats in the city, and online will play a big part, both from an aspiration and inspiration perspective, so how we show our range online, but also from a convenience perspective. How can you meet? How can you order online? And then we have to build up a fantastic convenient also backbone when it comes to delivery and services. So this is the part. Right. And this will be Mumbai, our first market where we step into that business. You can call it multi-channel, you can call it new retail. The exciting part with the technology and the digitalization, you cannot predict how it will look like in 7 years. So we like to be very flexible and agile to see how consumer behavior, how people's life is changing, what kind of new convenience demands are coming up, what kind of setups we can have there. So this will be the agile, interesting part for us in the future to move forward.
Give me a sense of how your online business, when will it come to life, and when can we see it fully play out?
I think we are on the way to open that, let's say, early summer next year when we open Mumbai. our ambition is to have then everything in place, both opening during summer, fantastic store
Okay.
with some adaptation, what we learn in Hyderabad. Second, we are now working on what could be inner city formats be, how we would like to meet the people, what could that be, find locations, think about how we'd like to bring them in, and then working on the online capability. We have already an online web page, which is giving a lot of inspiration, tips and ideas how you can live at home.
Okay.
And then also, but it's the online business, so you can order also at home. We are not looking on the one or the other. We strongly believe that it's a combination of everything, how we meet, how we can meet our consumers and our customers. I think people are looking less of what kind of channel we would use.
Okay.
They're looking at the brand and the opportunities and the offer and the totality, and then wherever, whenever, however our consumer would like to meet us, then we would like to be there. So this is where we're now heading for.
Peter, I understand that the company is looking at the Indian market, for the long term.
Yes.
And you're here for the long haul, the long journey. And hence, you're not in a supreme hurry for returns. You're okay to be in an investment phase for a while. So how much of, let's say, your entire catalog that you have, customized for the Indian market, since, Indians are very, very price sensitive, while we are, aspirational, where also value for money is a big deal for us. How much of your catalog, which you've remodeled for the Indian market, have you had to actually reprice? And when I mean reprice, actually lower your pricing significantly to ensure that it is viable and attractive for the average Indian customer.
We were looking from the beginning on affordability and value for money, because the Indian market is very sensitive to that. So, and then the starting point has been, we would like to have something for everybody. We still respect not everybody will be able to buy a kitchen today, but maybe in the future. I think we have a strong value for money position now in India with the opening of the store. The way we were looking on pricing, the way we were looking at local range, the way we were looking on how we would like to show different solutions for different segments. We have a strong position in value for money, and this we would like to keep and move also in the future and learn even stronger and even more. What does that mean? It is a challenge for all retailers in India, because you don't want to compromise on quality neither. So,
but I guess you'll have to at some point, right? Because you're also reducing your pricing for this market. And so obviously at some point, I mean, it's not a charity. I mean, the organization needs to be profitable at some point, right? I mean, you must have your own markers. So, so at some point, if let's say the market is not able to afford the average global pricing, then I guess one will have to look at lower costs.
Yes. This is exactly what you're saying. This is something what we're learning, what is challenging us a lot when it comes to how can we keep affordability, value for money, and value for money has a lot to do with the quality also.
Sure.
We're not compromising on lowest price that then you're buying something which is not worthwhile from a quality perspective. So, and then looking on the Indian market, what are the expectations, what is the possibility and the ability for people to buy and the capability to buy something. This is a real challenge. So from that perspective, the starting point is sometimes you're investing in something which is maybe, which is a challenge, also a financial challenge for you.
Absolutely.
But we have a fantastic opportunity in, we are now more than 30 years in India, where we have been working today with 60 suppliers. So we are looking into even more opportunities for local supply. So we'd like to learn also what is possible. We know there are a lot of things possible when it comes to local supply, local sourcing, wood, steel, this kind of thing. So we would like to even increase. We have increased that a lot the last years. Right. So we are already on close to 20% of the volume already locally produced.
You have to hit 30
in
5 years, right?
Yeah. But then this kind of part, that makes also that makes that also from a supply perspective. Then we have a lower price, income price for us in that perspective. We are looking very eager, which we're doing since years, always when it comes working with the suppliers. We're not going to supplier and say, this is a product, can you do it? We are developing products along the techniques, the competence in the local market with the local suppliers. So we are developing the suppliers together with us.
Sure.
So looking at raw material supply, so maybe you're looking new techniques. So there might be new techniques coming up, which makes it even better.
More cost efficient.
Yeah, for that perspective.
Okay, and when have you promised the global headquarters that you'll start making money here?
We are not looking for that. You know, we are coming from the vision. It's about the many people. Now, I think with the opportunities what we have here, and then take the right step, listen to our consumers, listen to our customers, inspire them for IKEA, being always affordable, have a fantastic quality, have a fantastic meeting with the customers. This will come over time. So this is what you said before. We are committed long term here in India. There is no way not to be in India, you know, when it comes to the vision. So this is the good thing in IKEA, that we can look long term. And I don't have to promise. I don't have to promise and say if you would be in the stock market, stock exchange.
That's true. Yeah.
So we don't have to do that. We're looking really on that.
Yeah, but I'm still curious to know how large international companies, established companies, who have tried to establish themselves in a market like ours, which needs a long gestation period, right? Because we're a complicated and complex market. And how long is long? So when you say long haul, is it like 10 years? How long? There are several companies in different, like for instance, Amazon being another one, which is also here for the long haul, which doesn't mind investing in the market. And there are, several others who also invested. But I mean, I'd be curious to know how long is long.
It depends on how many people are we able to reach with a multi-channel approach in the future. We would like to reach the coming 3 years 200 million people. So then profitability on that way will come with, let's say, with reaching many more people and with the volume.
So would I be right to assume that in this market, your profitability will be driven by volume?
By reaching many more people and then growing the market.
Volume, exactly. And not as much as, really via high margins, because
no, it's driven by reaching many more people, which is our vision, and then inspire more people about the home furnishing, and then with the volume which will come, which will be able to open even more local supply, the effectiveness will come in, and then with the higher volume also the profitability will come on that perspective.
Would you say the model is the same in other markets, or it's different in other markets?
I think from an idea perspective, to have a real multi-channel approach, this is new for IKEA. So this is the first market where we really would like to see that opportunities. And with the possibilities, what we have here in India, technology, digitalization, there are a lot of infrastructure available when it comes to fulfillment, services, convenience. This is a fantastic market now to really step into that.
Would you give me some numbers in terms of your footfalls, footfall numbers in your store?
What we know today is, it has been on peak. The opening days has been,
of course,
amazing.
Sure.
So we had even to close the store down the road because it's always full. So around the opening days, we had 40 to 50,000 people wanted to visit us. And then you can say during the normal weekdays, we still have 20,000 people visiting us.
20,000?
20,000 a day. And then on the weekend, which is very important, on the weekend, the family is going out and the group size is increasing. So we have even 30,000, 35,000 visitors. So the visitation perspective is really exciting to see how is that working and what kind of interest we can create. This is amazing.
Since globally 5% of your sales comes from your, your signature restaurant that you house within the store. You have also put in a lot of effort for the one in Hyderabad, your signature store. Unfortunately, you had a hiccup, a small hiccup where somebody found a caterpillar.
Yes.
And this was outsourced by Haldiram's, and Haldiram's was,
a big supplier in India.
A big supplier for your food. How have you dealt with that hiccup in your first month of innings? And I believe you've stopped 2 of those signature dishes.
Yes.
So what's your step going forward to ensure that these things are, while it's not your fault, the publicity you will get will not be good.
We have a health, safety, security, and quality for the people. This is on top of all of our agenda. And so that was the reason why whatever we found there, we need to sales stop that. Now we're working together with the supplier. How could that happen? And we would like to. We will step into that part only if we have ensured in all the supply chain that these things are not happening, that we're not compromising on health and safety and security for our customers, and that we can provide fantastic quality when it comes to food. So that's the process.
So are you expecting the same kind of revenue contribution from your signature restaurants from India too?
Maybe even higher,
Maybe
because
because
as
we
food
love food.
plays yeah, you love food. I love food also. Maybe you see that. So, and I love Indian food, I must say. So, as food plays such an important role, and food plays such an important role at home, but also while socializing, while shopping. So we're expecting even a bigger revenue and share of food when it comes to the turnover.
You know, so when would you say that you would have finished establishing your, I think, 4 big stores in the country? Hyderabad's done, Bombay we're expecting in the summer, Bangalore, and Delhi. When do you think we'll see all 4 up and running?
I think we should be able to have them all 4 up and running 2021, 2022. So in the totality of when we talk about Mumbai, Bangalore and Delhi. At the same time, we're investigating already other cities which are not big cities, what can we do there.
Sure.
So it's an ongoing journey. We're always looking on new opportunities coming in to that part. So this journey is never open. It's just a starting point of a fantastic future. But I think we say Mumbai next year, and then the Bangalore the year after, and then Delhi the year after. So that could be a roadmap for India, while we're also discovering other opportunities in other cities to go there.
Sure. Could you throw some light on that? Maybe the tier 2 cities that you're looking at, which are very aspirational, you know, as smaller cities. They love brands, which might be good potential there. Which cities are you looking at?
We're looking all, you know, we have how we define our India is not only the mega cities, but we're looking on 50 cities, which we define as our India, which we would like to be accessible for the many people. And then it's more a question of what is available there. Would we like to build a store, or would we build a touch point? When can we open online? When do we have the fulfillment in place? So it's more an agile approach. What is possible? How we like to go there? But we have all cities on that perspective on our map. Then I cannot promise today what we like to where we like to open what, but this is a kind of an agile approach. Let's see where we can be accessible.
Okay, Peter, 3 challenges that you had to overcome, or some of your biggest challenges that you had to overcome before the launch, if you could share them.
I think one challenge is, I would like to address it a bit, it's not a challenge, I think it's more a request maybe to the government. I would say maybe retail deserves to be industry standard, so that is kind of parts of that we have a kind of common legislation and a common compliance part of that, because this creates a lot of work locally today, because we don't have common legislation, so that creates a lot of work, and it would make investments, and it would make way of working much more easier, could create more employment. So that would be one part. A second part, what I would like to say, is an IT infrastructure, which is also compliant with Indian legislation. This is where we're sitting, where we're working hard to have that. You know, we have global IT systems, then we're creating local IT systems, but to have that compliance with the Indian law, you know, tax laws are different from different states and parts. This is where we're working hard on that. And I think a third part, which is a real challenge, where we're very excited to have that, is the fulfillment. When we talk about home furnishing, it's not like sending a smartphone from one place to another. I think the fulfillment is also, then we're talking about how to bring a sofas to the inner city. It has to be on an highway compliant way. We don't want to have that in a way like we're talking about, we don't care how we do that. We would like to do it in a sustainable way. We are looking on Hyderabad in EVs, so electrical vehicles. So this fulfillment part, how to make that in a sustainable, convenient, reliable, but also on a cost-efficient way. This is one of the big challenges where we're sitting.
You know, I'm curious to know from you, Peter, how you would look at the difference in terms of, you know, the corporate culture, because you worked, you know, in Europe and in Sweden, and now in India. So, what would be the key differences, you know, in the way we work?
There is a kind of a difference is maybe compared to Sweden. In India, we still have a very hierarchical approach.
That's true.
So it's quite new for people. I'm today sitting in the suit because I think it's very good, but it's very new for people that, for example, CEO of a company is working yellow and blue and helping to work in the store, shaking the hand of the co-worker, go to the dishwasher area. So just as a symbol that we would like to be less hierarchical. We are working together. And this is quite new for people in India. And then also convincing people, it's not about the title, It's more about what is your role, where you can create an impact, and using the opportunities and the freedom in taking responsibility to grow and taking responsibility in the business for that. So this is quite new.
Sure.
So moving away from I tell you what to do as a to engage the people,
right.
to contribute and take your role and take your step and take your responsibility and then move out. And so this is, I think, a big difference.
Well, that's bang on, I think, in terms of cultural insights. Before I let you go, last question for the benefit of my viewers. Is it IKEA or IKEA, Peter?
I was growing up with IKEA. That's the Swedish title, because it's Ingvar, Kamprad, Agunaret, Entaret. This is the area, so it was Ingvar Kamprad. So if you could, but in the English language it's IKEA. You can choose whatever you want. It's not about how you pronounce, it's more how you look on the brand and how you get inspired by the brand.
But I guess the authentic way is IKEA.
Is IKEA. The authentic way would be IKEA. The Swedish way would be IKEA.
Yeah. Well, on that note, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for speaking to me.
I enjoyed a lot. Thank you.
And all the very best for your India innings for IKEA.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.